Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to Rise Up After Dark. Today is Wednesday, April 8th, and this is your place where we DYOR, BYOB, let our hair down and talk a little shit about crypto, about AI, any new tech that's got you puzzled, that you're curious, skeptical, or concerned about, whether you're a total beginner or this is what you do every day, all the time. I'm your friend Evan, and today I'm so glad to be joined by Smobyday. She is an educational content creator. She works in tech. She can help you with AI questions, crypto questions, money questions, and really has done a great job to make an inclusive space for anybody to learn about technology that sometimes seems a little overwhelming. I've traded Will and Alex for a new co-pilot today. Smobyday, welcome to Rise Up After Dark. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you?
I'm good. That was a great intro. I can do anything that anybody wants me to do. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about crypto and I don't know, finance and any other, complex topics, to break it down. And yeah, excited to be here.
Excellent. Okay, then why don't you start by just introducing yourself, telling folks who you are, and a little more about what you do.
Great. So I should look at the camera.
You can look at any camera you want. We've got wherever you are, whenever you listen set up. And we even have people who listen to audio only in podcast land. So, if they want to see where you're looking, they got to join one of the video streams. But you do you. I'm right here with you.
Anybody that has to just listen to my voice. I am Smobyday. My page is dedicated to breaking down stereotypically complex topics in a way that's digestible and makes sense. I actually detest people saying that I simplify topics, because I don't. I just explain things so well, like a Roth IRA or Bitcoin or Ethereum, anything with crypto or finance, that you think it is that simple, because it is. So my goal is to make this world of crypto and finance more accessible, on top of digestible. Like, you actually understand what it is without pushing anything on you, right? You don't have to buy Bitcoin, but you should know what it is. So that's kind of my page as of right now, and talk about money moves and habits to build wealth and all the above. And that's what I do.
Okay, excellent. So for folks who don't know, I would encourage you to check out @Smobyday, spelled just like it sounds, Smobyday. Slow it down and repeat it to say it again, on TikTok. And then Instagram, you said it was a different handle, right?
Yeah, I was just telling Evan.
Yeah, give it to me again.
It's Smobyday IG.
Okay. And watch out for the impersonators, because really, you know it, I know it, they're everywhere, aren't they?
Oh my God, the bots are insane. But yeah, I am Smobyday IG, and then Smobyday just on YouTube as well. I've posted a couple of YouTube videos trying to get into that more. But yeah, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw you, I was really struck by exactly what you said. I thought you did a really good job making the complex clear in a way that was not like, this is a super sophisticated, you acknowledge like this could be a technical topic, but also like whoever you are like totally fine to understand this. I'm going to explain it to you so you can understand it. So I really respect that. And I think it's something we need more of. For people who don't know you, I would say you fit really well into the content schedule of somebody who's trying to learn about crypto or traditional investing. You have really great explainers about things like compound interest. I think friends in our audience who recognize your work, or who don't recognize your work yet, but are like, okay, who would you compare yourselves to, or who are some content creators that because you've said to me, you consider yourself new to this, that you're learning, but you clearly have a gift for it. So like, who did you watch? Who did you learn from? Who are some of your teachers that inspired you to start creating content? I would love to know.
Gosh. I've watched your videos before. I told Evan previously that getting on here was like meeting a celeb. So I've watched Evan's videos before, and just your level of conversation, I would say too. So you don't have a demeaning tone of voice, which I find with educational creators, sometimes they're like, now, what do you think of? I'm like, shut the hell up. I'm not talking to you. So I like the lack of demeaning, and I like the conversation. Conversations with Evan. Also another, oh my God, Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
I neglected to tell you this, but we have a rule we play on After Dark specifically, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, except this is important. When you hear that sound, it means that somebody speaking or somebody that they are speaking about gets a point. And if you ever hear this sound, it means you've lost a point for something. I like to give out points arbitrarily all night, and at the end of the night, whoever gets the most, gets bragging rights until next week, kind of thing. So,
Amazing.
so
Cool.
carry on as you were.
Yeah. Well, a couple of creators that I saw. Let's see. There's Tipsy Wealth. I think she's really great. Money Moves with Lydia.
Yeah.
Mia McGrath is also really great. But again, I watched her videos and thought they were so amazing. But I was like, damn, she seems like she showers every single day. So I know that there gotta be another demographic of like women who want to make wealth and money, but maybe it doesn't look as clean girl, even though I love watching her videos. I love like eating it up. I can't necessarily always relate to them. Right. So, yeah. And she's a phenomenal creator. But yeah, I think I maybe bring a different perspective there. Those are just some of the creators.
Yeah. I think there are more all the time too. That's one of my favorite things about something like TikTok, especially. And what I always tell people who feel like they want to become content creators is you got to find the medium that works best for you. YouTube and Instagram content tends to be a little more like polished and produced. The Twitter or Substack sphere has its own kind of niche. If you're into writing, LinkedIn is a very different kind of post and algorithm. But what I love about TikTok, what drew me here was that I am an actor. That's my first career, and like a communication professional. Yeah. So I very much am interested in like, okay, how do we create this feeling of connection together? And I have a lot of practice doing it through a camera so that other people feel like I'm talking to them. So TikTok, where I could just pull my phone out and talk to it like I'm talking to you, was the natural place for me. It didn't matter if I had brushed my teeth that day or my hair or whatever. I could reach somebody if the idea or feeling I had resonated with them. And I felt like that was so powerful and really democratizing. So I love to see other people just like bringing their authentic selves, because everybody's got a story to share that we can learn from,
Well, we love a democratized, decentralized asset. That's for sure.
Yeah, we do.
Oh my God, just killed it with that one. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I couldn't agree more. I like the authenticity that happens on TikTok. I like the behind the scenes that happens on TikTok. Even like super mega celebrities making TikToks. I think the first time I saw a celebrity make a TikTok, I was like, what? You're a person? No, you're not. But it really gives that level of like authenticity behind the scenes, vulnerability, casualness. I really like it for sure. It's a great medium of education and connection. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. So what are some of the things then that you have endeavored to teach people and that you would share with them now? We said backstage you were talking a little more about your work. And I would love to know, people can go watch your channel to hear all the videos and all the tips and stuff, but like can you tell me, okay, let me back up. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Can you tell me more about how it is you came to work in tech and be interested in crypto, especially?
Yes, I got into tech because, I studied information science and a bit of astrophysics in college. And from there, because of that, I took a couple of programming classes and I was like, oh, wait, I'm way better at this. So I took a Python class and like a basic, web design class, whatever, but I really liked it. I took R. Any engineers on here, any data scientists on here. But anyway, I just really enjoyed it. So because of that, once COVID hit, I started learning programming more and more. From there, became a software engineer, and then just kind of dove into the tech space. From there, just kind of shot up. So it came from a different interest that I had, which was astronomy and whatnot. And then from there, I was like, wait, I really like astronomy. Don't know if I want to make it a career, but this other thing that I ended up doing that was part of astronomy, I did really good at. So following what I liked, not necessarily what I was passionate about, and following what I was actually good at. Which ended up bringing me a lot of joy. So my day to day is fun. It's interesting. I'm in an industry that's like changing all the time and kind of exciting and within a really cool community of people. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into tech.
Yeah, and something I've seen your content do is encourage other people to like start taking steps for themselves. I think they see somebody like you and feel like, oh, I could never learn everything that you know. I feel like that's a very common comment I get. And something I'm always trying to help people see is no, no, no. I'm a unique, interesting, kind of weird guy, but I'm just like you. I have strengths and weaknesses. And if I can figure this out, you can too. I was telling you backstage. So, what are some of the things that you like to help people understand, especially because on TikTok you don't know who you're getting in touch with? Who are some of the people that have like that you've met through the comments, through creating, and what do you feel you end up sharing again and again and again as far as like these safety tips, these investing tips, or answering questions that pop up? I would love to know.
That's a really good question. I would say what I find myself, I'll say the videos that I think do the best on my page are videos of, beginner investor type of things. So, and none of them, you'll see in my videos, I do not recommend any ETFs, any stocks. That's not my page. Other people have that page to say like, you need to buy Bitcoin or you need to buy like this stock right now or this ETF. And that's wonderful. But my biggest, I'd say, tagline, the ethos of all of my videos is confidence comes from participation, not perfection. So just start. You don't have to be perfect at it. It's okay to lose money. It's okay to do it completely wrong. But you just need to start. And so building that, having the messaging of just confidence and just going for it. Like an example would be, I had a video do really well where I was saying I invested in ETFs and stocks without knowing what the hell it was. Like I had no idea. I invested in it first because I figured out how to do it. I got my money compounding and growing for me, and then I figured it out after. So I'd say that's something that at least the messaging behind a lot of my videos would be confidence comes from participation, not perfection. Just go for it. And just like you and me, Evan, probably most of the time we just kind of did it, failed, did it again, failed again, did it again, and then kind of got it right on the third time, and then just keep going. So yeah, you can read all the books in the world, but you just have to do it first, and then that's how you build that knowledge. That makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. As you've gained confidence, as you've learned more, you tried new things. What does your investing setup look like now, if you don't mind sharing? You don't have to, name like dollar amounts and specific tools, but like what kind of things are you using? What assets are you looking at? We would love to know.
Fidelity.
Okay.
Sponsor me. I swear to God.
Okay.
I talk about GoAs all the time. Like, sponsor me. Are you kidding?
Yeah, the show is not sponsored by Fidelity, but Smobyday could be, and it might be the move. I agree. Okay, so what do you love about Fidelity?
I love the ease of use. I like the customer support. I like all of the resources, documentation. I like that it's centralized, so I can have my 401k, my Roth IRA, my investments. They just opened up another account where I can invest in crypto. I like a centralized one-stop shop. I know a lot of people have like 20 different apps, and I know for myself, for my demographic, the way my mind works, I kind of need most of it in one place. It's not necessarily the place where I buy crypto or where I store my crypto, but I do use it for Roth IRA, backdoor Roth, investing in ETFs, stocks. I actually recently invested in a stock that wasn't like allowed, so I called Fidelity and was like, "Hey, I want to invest in a stock. It's like a foreign stock." And they were like, "Yeah, we actually have to do that for you. Like, you can invest in it, but we have to do the transaction for you." I was like, "Okay, cool."
And the customer service is good?
Customer service is great. Sometimes you get bounced around a little bit, but they have, I remember 4 or 5 years ago, they walked me through exactly what a 401k was, exactly what a Roth IRA was, how to do a backdoor Roth. I really found the customer service to be kind, helpful people. And everybody's helped me at that company. So love it.
Okay. If you're like hearing it, you want to check it out. What's the 1, 2, 3 to get started? I imagine fidelity.com is the place to go, or just search Fidelity in the App Store and you'll probably see it right away. Yeah. But how does it work? Create an account, KYC, deposit money, what?
No, first step is go on TikTok and look up Smobyday Fidelity. I have an entire playlist on called Not a Fidelity Bro. And, and I tell you exactly how to open an account, how to create a Roth IRA on Fidelity, how to invest. Like I've got a whole thing on it. But yeah, first thing would be go to fidelity.com. It literally takes 10 minutes. Create an account, first name, last name, answer some governmenty questions, citizenship, confirm your age, whatever. And then from there, take a look at, I have Not a Fidelity Bro. And then inside of there, you've got to actually connect your account to a payment method, either with a bank or I recommend just a bank. And you don't really do anything else. And then look up an ETF. I will say, set up your account on a website, right? Invest in an ETF or stock on your phone. I find that the app is actually a lot more usable than the website. The website has a lot going on. And if you're a beginner, it can be really confusing to navigate. So the app is a lot easier to just start out with. But yeah, I see a comment too. Schwab is great as well. And what else? Robinhood is good. Vanguard is good. But Fidelity is, that's my baby.
Yeah, and we have kind of a global audience. So I would say another consideration too is not every product or service is going to be available in your jurisdiction. I think probably the most important thing would be to get in touch with somebody from your area who is trustworthy. Maybe like an educational public figure from Australia or from whatever who can help you navigate that kind of thing. But if it's a legitimate product and you find it easy to use, that's almost certainly going to be the best one for you. Because a lot of them do offer the same kind of services. But I will say, some people, as they go deeper, as they want to do more, they might have pain points. Like in crypto all the time, I feel like I encounter people who started on maybe Revolut or Uphold or Robinhood back in the day was a lot worse. It was just very limited what you could do. And they ended up feeling frustrated and having to sell a bunch of assets and create a taxable event and move it off the platform. I think a lot of it is mostly better now, especially for people who are just getting started. Wouldn't you say?
Well, you know what conversations with Evan got me onto?
What?
River.com.
Oh my gosh, River.com. Tell me all about it. What does River.com do?
I love River.com. Because of conversations.
Smobyday is just struck by this soundboard. Let me tell you, girl, I've got so many sounds here. Okay,
I'm eating this up. I'm loving this.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, River.com is the so I obviously have been investing in crypto for like a hot while, and I thought I'm using the right exchanges, whatnot, moving it to a cold wallet, whatever. Fees, spreads and fees. You posted something. I don't remember what it was. You posted something and you were like, I love River.com. I was like, is it sketchy? Blah, blah, blah. But then I built up a trust in you, right, over the time. Yeah. So I was like, let me go back to that video. So I went back to the video, River.com, and no fees on recurring buys. I was like, oh, hell yeah. So I did River.com, and I think the only thing is you can buy Bitcoin with it. Like you can't buy anything else, but that's fine. But no fees on recurring buys. That is like a beginner crypto investor's dream. So yeah, you got me onto River.com.
I love it. We have a couple of friends over there, and they are serious about Bitcoin. Not all exchanges focus on all products, and I think that's their secret sauce. It's their competitive advantage. They only really offer one product, and so they can be the best at it. And I really do think they are the best at it. It's River, like a brook or a stream.com. And it's the same as signing up for Coinbase or Robinhood. You do some know your customer stuff, have them capture your picture, give them your social. You got to give up some info, but then they connect to your bank. They secure your deposited dollars on their platform. I mean, they are so good. My favorite thing, newish thing about them is in the last year, they started offering interest on your deposits on their platform. So I use like River also as a second savings account. I don't know anywhere else that I can earn 3% in Bitcoin on cash.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I have like a weekly pull from my bank DCA, but then if I have dollars that I was just going to like put in a savings account, one of the accounts I will put it in is on River's platform. Those dollars are FDIC insured, and they earn me 3% in Bitcoin. So period.
Put the people on. Wait, actually, Not me opening up river.com. Okay, I actually didn't know that because I have money in like a money market fund on Fidelity, which is fine. Again, I have a high yield savings account, but I mean, I have a video talking about like high yield savings account just got so much sunshine going up its ass. I'm like, it's okay, it's good. It's not like that. It's insane. There's other ways to like have your money compound, but I didn't know about that about River. Like, I'm gonna look at that. Super into that.
Yeah, check into it. And I would say for anybody who wants to check it out and wants to help out the show, like I would love to get their attention. Again, not sponsored, but it could be. We have a link that you can use at the RUMS HQ website, rumshq.com. The recommended tools and deals tab has a super simple to find River button. You get like $5 of free Bitcoin or something like that. And I think we do too when you use it. So help the show, check it out. I'm curious too.
Actually, no, use my link. Use my link in bio. Don't use that.
We'll fight about it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. You are the guest. So please use Smobyday's link. And then when she gets the hookup, she'll say, you know where I heard about River. And I'll say, you're darn right.
I have a link. But yeah, conversations with Evan totally put me on. Such a fan.
You. Okay, cool. Thank you. I also think something you said I wanted to go back to about like the user friendliness of different platforms. You mentioned Fidelity's website being like a little more difficult to use sometimes than the mobile app if you're trying to like navigate. I helped my brother who has a Charles Schwab account. That's like his 401k. He thought he had an IRA. He, like a lot of people, did not know. And my brother is my brother-in-law. He's a nuclear engineer. He's smart. He's a doctor. You know what I mean? He's a super nerd, but he wasn't taught this stuff. So he doesn't really know. He's not paying super close attention to it. Yeah. I explained to him that like, yes, you are depositing money to this place regularly, but your money's not doing anything. It hadn't been like allocated to an ETF, a stock, a mutual fund. A lot of it, you got to set up yourself. And I think there's still just such a gap in like knowledge. So I am really glad to hear you say that Fidelity was as helpful to you as they were. And I'm really glad to hear you say you have a playlist. I'm curious to know, do you have other like, I don't know, tips things that should be obvious, but just weren't, or that are like level 2 game, but that people just don't know about?
Yes. And I would also like to say to your brother-in-law who's a nuclear engineer, I'm convinced that while all of us engineers were just like knee deep or like elbow grease into like programming or doing whatever physics we're doing, like whatever it is, that's when everybody else was learning what like a 401k was and how to optimize your taxes and how to invest in an ETF. Like I wasn't a part of that for years. So I got into the job market without knowing any of that. And I feel like a lot of engineers are in the same boat. Now, us as engineers, we're also very high earners. So because of that, there's a lot of money just left on the table because of us, right? Like we just don't know how to handle our money. We're focused on other things. So I completely relate to that. At the same time, some tips that I think should be obvious isn't, I mean, you know what? I think tips. I mean, tax season is coming up and I have a couple of friends who are like, I'm not doing that. I was like, nah, it's not a choice.
Sorry, that's illegal.
You have to do that. Like you have to get on that, babe. Like,
yeah. This is a gross misrepresentation of the facts.
If you don't want to do it, I swear to God, hire a CPA. Hire a CPA. It is like the best thing in the world. I don't care if you make a lot of money or not. It's not about getting money back. It's about doing it correctly. It's about not getting audited. So I really think having a CPA that's actually good can be really helpful. That's kind of like a hidden thing-ish. Also, there's a ton of free ways to actually file your taxes. So don't get into the loop of, I need to go on these tax websites that's costing me $300. Like at that point, get a CPA. Or just go on like freetaxorg.com. The IRS has some stuff. I'd say another aspect of even just investing, unpopular opinion, in my not financial advice, education only, keep your investments so boring. Have auto recurring investments, so don't even think about it. Invest in tech and AI. You will be fine. Like genuinely. I think anybody else that's trying to make it more complicated than that is just overcomplicating it for themselves. keep them boring, set up auto recurring investments, and you'll become a multimillionaire. Like, so I swear to God that I've done the math so many times. That's what'll happen.
Can you drop some names? What are some examples of boring investments that work if you commit to them? I'll go first. Probably Bitcoin. Could it change? Yeah, but at least right now, if you're spending money on crypto and you're like not trading your dollars for Bitcoin, you're giving up the best like turn your dollars into more dollars tool that crypto has given us so far, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you really think, and honest Q, do you really think people could still become millionaires from investing in Bitcoin right now? Or do you think, like, to me, I think you could make some money on Bitcoin, of course. At the same time, for me, I would tell people to invest in Bitcoin because it is literally a new form of currency. We didn't create a new country, right? Like, usually you have a different currency for a different country. We didn't do that. It's like this universal digital version of money and how we actually send and receive and transfer and view money. So if anything, I like to tell people, buy Bitcoin, but not because you think you're going to become a multimillionaire. Buy it because it's a revolutionary way for payments, for transactions, the blockchain. I mean, it's just gnarly to think about. But I'd be curious, what do you think?
I love this. And I actually kind of hope we get to disagree a little bit because I'd like to learn. I feel like investing, simply summed, is trying to predict the future. Mm-hmm. And if you're trying to predict the future, you're really asking yourself what seems likely on different degrees of risk. Some things are much more likely than others, all things equal. It's likely that our devices will probably keep getting smaller and more integrated with our biology. It already feels like a distraction and a friction that my phone isn't actually part of my hand and that I have to look at the screen instead of like envisioning it behind my, you know what I mean? Like that's going to happen. I will one day have a mixed reality experience where my shopping list is overlaid on my vision with a little map that says this way to the detergent. I think, therefore, people overcomplicate things and tend to lose money by trying to do too much beyond what seems most likely. In a world where we measure value in dollars, dollars controlled by governments, it doesn't matter who's in power, who gets elected, the incentive is always going to be to print more. And if that's the reality, then Bitcoin, partially by design and partially by serendipity, just has accumulated the network effects such that in a world where we measure value in fiat dollars, unless and until that changes, though the price of Bitcoin may go up, may go down, it will always be worth more. It's like a tank of water emptying over time and more people want to drink and it's never going to get refilled again. I don't think it's possible that could change. A lot would have to happen for it to change. And I think we'd see it coming from far enough away because of the network effects of Bitcoin that we'd be able to like pivot to something that seemed more likely. But every dollar I get that I'm considering investing, turning into an asset, whether that's land, a stock, cryptocurrency, I ask myself, what is this going to do for me that's better than Bitcoin? Because I believe that the tools that make crypto possible will give us new novel ways to communicate about value beyond dollars and cents. I think dollars and cents are a very limited way to make meaning about value, even if they are ubiquitous, and that crypto will give us a more nuanced vocabulary to kind of move beyond that. I think it's a really rudimentary tool and that crypto is a totally new medium. But until we get there, as long as we're measuring value in dollars, government money, Bitcoin's the one, I think.
You think like somebody could become an actual millionaire investing in Bitcoin right now?
Yep.
Yeah, because one Bitcoin, or would they have to? Because I again, you need, I think, what is it at now? $70,000 something dollars, right? To own like one Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin goes up $40,000, right? So it goes like over up $100,000. You'd still make a good amount of money, no doubt. But becoming a multimillionaire, do you see any of these altcoins, or even like, I don't know, investing in like XRP or Ethereum or Solana? Like, do you see more like a higher investment?
I mean, I invest in other assets because I see them as growth assets. Like I see Solana as a growth asset. It is likely, I think, to be relevant and growing in the next few years at a pace that is faster than Bitcoin. But what I also think is my thesis is like, again, we're talking about probability and what's likely to happen. that's more important to me than multiples, because as like the upside potential increases, so does your risk. Bitcoin might only do a 2 to 5x in the next, I don't know, 5 years, let's say. But I think it's going to do that with a really high degree of probability. Whereas a major layer one like ETH or Sol, will it grow? Probably, but it's less likely to me. And I think that survivorship matters more than upside. I think that most people
clip that. Survivorship matters more than upside. Clip that, because I think that's really dang. I think that's actually really interesting and something to consider. Again, it's sometimes I feel like it's in a space of what's it called? I just want to get rich quick and whatnot. And I think we lose the idea of survival matters and the idea of yes, upside, but at the same time, like understanding revenue, you want to make money on it, but being a part of this bigger revolutionary thing, which is Bitcoin. So yes, you will make money if you invest in Bitcoin. Larger though, we are actually investing in the future of like, think of the next generation, think of how we invest, think of how we communicate, just like you said, Evan. I think it's interesting. Anyway, interrupted. Keep going.
No. It's a conversation. The other thing I would say is I see more people lose money, not because they like didn't pick that one. I didn't buy that one meme coin that did 1,000x. I'm going to be broke forever. It's because they pick too many things that end up going to zero, when they could have just put all of those dollars into Bitcoin over time across cycles and gotten a 2 to 3x 10 years earlier, and then enjoyed compounding interest. To me, what I say most to people who ask me this, because a lot of them are asking me like, isn't Bitcoin too expensive? Is it really going to grow? And I say, it's less about the price of the asset and how many of them you can own, and more about how likely it is for that asset to grow. And again, my bottom line is like, I would rather bet that Bitcoin will do a 2x from here than ETH or Sol or anything will do any. I'm just more confident in its growth, even if the multiple is smaller, than I am about anything else. What do you think? Because it sounds like maybe you have a pushback or a counterpoint. Are you more? What do you think?
I think it's all of that. Yes. Okay. Period. Exclamation mark. In addition to that, also just reminding people of like, you're going to make money on Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Of course, buy Bitcoin. If you don't feel comfortable buying Bitcoin because you don't think you're going to make money on it, let me give you an alternative reason to buy Bitcoin, which is, again, the revolutionary idea of like literally creating a new currency. But yeah. I think I still think people will make money on Bitcoin. I think just like you said, crypto itself is just opening up this like entirely new conversation of how we view value and it existing online. Remember NFTs and everybody thinking that NFTs was like a picture of a monkey that like looked really cool, whatever. But at the same time, how quickly did we add value to that? And it just existed online. So it really is opening up these different conversations, especially in trying to open it up to other women too, who are like, Bitcoin, that's for bros, or that's for people who have a Lamborghini or whatever. I'm like, no, it's actually really an interesting digital asset that that should be invested in. But no, I agree with it. I think it's great. Just adding an additional part there for sure. Oh yeah, you're messaging people in the chat.
I'm having side conversations. I'm paying attention to you, but I also, enjoy yourself. Have a little fun. You can press and hold someone's name to respond to them. Yeah. So like, if you want to like at them in a comment, it can be super fun. And we have a real active, engaged chat, which reminds me, if you're listening live, then please leave your questions for our guest, Smobyday. Will is going to be here joining the conversation at the top of the hour. That's Will Watson, one of our co-hosts here. And we want to hear from you. We would love to know if you've got an investing question, a crypto or tech question, anything at all. It's on the table, especially if it's a good joke, a prediction, a word of wisdom, then let us know. And if you're listening in the future, hello. We hope your candles are green. And we hope that you will leave your questions for us too. You can find her on TikTok at Smobyday. And you can find us wherever you are, whenever you listen, at community.rumshq.com. We would love to see you there.
So fun. Okay, Tori, can I say people's name? Tori Stories?
Yeah, totally. Tori is our chief of staff.
Hi, Queen. I'm so excited to be here. Hey. She just asked if we saw the moon photos from Artemis. First of all, the amount of times I've cried into my phone watching these like what's it called? Those montages of like the crew of Artemis. They're like the sweetest little friend group I've ever seen in my life.
They look like real buds.
Yeah, they look like real buds. They're having like a blast up there. Also, has anybody seen the bathroom situation on Artemis?
No. What are they doing?
Deep dove into the bathroom situation. So they have to know, like, how do you gotta go.
Yeah, are they still wearing like bags in their suits?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, look at that Dark Side of the Moon photo. It's just phenomenal. So freaking cool. Yeah, no, there's like an actual bathroom area. It's really noisy where the bathroom is. They actually have to wear headphones while they go to the bathroom. And then on top of that, there's like these handles that they have to hold on to because it's gravity, right? You're just floating. So you literally have to hold yourself down while you're in the bathroom and go to the bathroom. So if you ever want to go to space, just know there's no squatty potty. Although I'm sure there's something like that. Maybe.
I think the technology, like if we need one and if you go to space, I feel like you get the right to like have some input there. Although there's probably a really good reason why if there are no squatty potties allowed, they're not. I'm sure there is.
Bigger question, can I bring mine?
Specifically mine.
Specifically, can I bring it to space so you don't piss in your face? Yeah, literally. What else? Oh, somebody asked, Billy's Maps asked, what do you think about using AI for picking a stock or crypto?
Great question. What do you think?
Here's what I'm gonna say. ChatGPT, no. Unless you have a really good prompt where you're like, I'm interested in this, I'm interested in that. Or you know what? No, I'd say if you're on AI and you already have stocks or ETFs in mind, and then you include that inside of your prompt and ask ChatGPT or Claude, or more specifically Gemini or Copilot even, to do an analysis and run them against each other. Like, which one should I choose based on who I am and my spending habits and my comfort level with risk, whatever. I think that's okay. I think that's fine for beginners. No one is, there's no expectation for you to constantly look at the market and day trade and whatnot. However, I'm going to plug this. Google just came out with Google Finance Beta. And it's actually, I'm pretty sure I have it linked in my bio. Maybe I don't. But look up Google Finance Beta. It's a complete dynamic live tracker of stocks, ETFs, and whatnot. And you have to be 18 years or older to actually utilize it. But they have an AI tool within where you can interact and ask Google, like Gemini, these different questions around the stocks and ETFs that it's actually monitoring. So it's in real time. Remember, these OpenAI, Claude, whatever, these LLMs, it's not in real time, right? They're pulling from these large language models. It doesn't mean that the API pulls in the most recent information about this particular ETF or stock. So Google Finance Beta is actually, I've been utilizing it, and I think it's a really great tool to actually say, hey, I'm, it matters about your prompt, but I'm this age, this is my risk profile, this is my spending habits, I want to invest my Roth IRA, I want it to be diverse, I want this, I want that. Like, you have to have a good idea, and then ask Google Finance, interact with it. But it's a really awesome AI tool that I recommend.
Okay, google.com/finance is what I did. I opted in. It's got a little dashboard and then a little chat bubble. I just asked it, how is the ceasefire breach affecting the market? It gave me a little summary here. And you said, I'm sure this is using some kind of like regular Gemini Pro. I'm a Gemini. We have a Google Pro. So I think I get the like fancy Gemini, but do you know like what's under the hood here?
Let me see. I can actually take a look at the LLM. I'm pretty sure. I actually don't know what LLM they're actually utilizing, because inside of the actual chat, you can't configure the LLM. I think it's just like flat, hence the beta portion. Well, I can take a look at that. I actually don't know.
We can, yeah, we could definitely, we can find out together. While you look at that, I would be curious to know too, like how you personally are using AI right now, what you think about like the move at the cutting edge towards agentic everything. Everybody's got their OpenClaw bots and stuff. I'd love to know if you played around with that, or what you feel like your favorite use cases are personally right now, as well as what kinds of things you think people ought to try and play with. This is a great one.
Everything. Literally everything. I refuse to be left behind on the AI wave, and I use it for work too. Like I have to. Yeah, I literally all of the above. I've used every type of AI tool that you can think of. I've built my own agents. I've actually built my own LLM. I'm doing it all for sure. And especially I like to run things within the CLI because I think it's, especially on my like local machine, sometimes actually having Claude in my CLI, it can actually move some things around that I need for work mostly. But I use it all. I think a really good place to start, look, I'm just throwing this out there, really good place to start, just connect your Google Calendar or your email to Claude and interact with it. Like start there, right? And then from there, say, okay, I want to connect my, I don't know, Google Sheets or something, and ask Claude, yeah, every single time I get an email from this account, add it to my Google Sheets. Like just play around with it at a very basic level. And just so you know, just so everybody can hear me, when someone says, I created my own agent, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, they just connected Google Calendar to Claude and got it to like write something in a Google Doc. That is considered creating an agent, just so you know. It's actually having AI perform a task for you. So don't get fooled into people saying like, oh, like agent, whatever. You never know. Like ask them to describe the agent and then be like, okay, you just like connected some stuff, which is fine. It's still impressive. But again, don't get caught in that wave. Yeah, I'd say start there. Just start connecting different apps to AI and make sure you're on the pro version and ensure that you turn off the toggle that any AI tool can actually learn from your data. That manually has to be done if you're on the free version.
Yeah, that was going to be a question. I have a couple questions in this for you about personal security. What are your recommendations for, should people be using their should they use dedicated devices for their investing stuff? What kind of privacy settings do you have? And it could be anything from, I don't know, you cover your web camera to password protectors. And I'd be curious to hear the difference maybe too. Probably for you, I imagine it's higher because you work as a professional in tech with probably some sensitive enterprise information. But am I doing enough? Is my grandma doing enough? That kind of thing. What do you recommend for people who want to be more secure online?
Well, damn, grandma ain't doing enough. I know that's for sure. Everyone's grandma ain't doing enough.
Yeah, so how do we help?
Yeah, literally. Well, I mean, gosh, there's, as far as the grandma stuff goes, I don't know. That looks like an entirely different age group. I will say that they are extremely, like the grandmas of the world are extremely active on Facebook and whatnot. So I think it's a really good reminder. The first thing I would say to anybody, never, ever post a picture or a photo of your house. I swear to God, I can find out where you live. I can very easily find out where you live if you just post a picture or a photo of your house. That's number one. So I'm just talking, a lot of people think about internet safety. Not many people think about like physical safety that you should have online, right? Oh my God, is that a dog?
Oh yeah. This is my dog Lucy. She was she just wanted to come up here, so I let her up, and here she is, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lucy, my buddy. Yeah, I've got Ricky snoozing under the desk too.
Oh my God, so cute.
She's my girl. She's my girl. Ricky, he's down there. He's just taking a little nap. Lucy and Ricky, they look a lot alike. If you imagine Lucy, but like slightly bigger and with like a howdy doody kind of energy, that's Ricky. And I called him Ricky because he loved Lucy so much. He just walked up to us one day. He's a rescue, and he loved Lucy, so he gets to be Ricky. As you were though. So I'm totally cooked because people know I live in Memphis, Tennessee. This is my home studio. I'm honestly banking on the fact that my personal OPSEC is, I optimize for duress. I think a lot of people are optimizing for convenience way too much, especially with crypto. The truth of it is, if somebody picked me up with, a bodyguard, a wrench, a candy van, and they were going to like cut off my fingers until I gave them my seed phrase, I would be like, guys, I am so sorry. You can end me here, but it's going to take us like thousands of miles of travel and hours of time. Like, we're going to have to go somewhere before I can help you get anything of it. Then honestly, they'd probably open my accounts and they'd be like, that's it, you know, but
oh my God, no protected seed phrase more than like.
No, I mean, it's so like the wrench attack is what I'm worried about. I am worried because people know who I am, because I make my living not by having a lot of money, but mostly people know me, like me, trust me. So I'll be able to eat dinner next year because somebody will like me. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm betting on. I therefore have to optimize for that, because otherwise I feel like I am an easy target. And I do think about that. Like, I don't think most crypto users, especially, or many people using computers and phones to get online are secure enough, and it's not their fault. But
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, like I took a couple hacking courses while I was in college, and at the end of the day, you can add an exclamation point in your password, you can do a hash, you can do all these different things. If a literal chaos engineer or hacker wanted to get into your account, they could. So it's mostly about what's inside of the account. What do you actually want to share? But again, there's some things now that like you have to share, like on crypto exchanges, you have to share the last 4 digits of your social security number. You have to share your physical address, right? And that's for legal and safety reasons. So it goes up to your risk profile and what you're actually, let's say, like comfortable sharing. But there's lots of ways to actually be safe online. Again, like trying to stay as anonymous as possible, not sharing photos of like your actual address, obviously passwords and whatnot. Utilizing like a third-party password manager is an additional gate, which is nice. I mean, HashiCorp is like insane. Have you heard of HashiCorp?
no, I know I've not.
It's I was gonna word there. It's like a password manager / vault. I don't know if it's like strictly just for businesses. It actually might be for individuals, but the idea is it's like impossible to gain access to your password if you're utilizing HashiCorp. And it's phenomenal. Like, talk about like super, like, it's a cold wallet. It's literally a cold wallet for your password. For all you crypto people out there, I just made world's best metaphor. It's a cold wallet for your passwords. But yeah, that's one of the ways you can stay safe online for sure. Lots of other ways too, but passwords, and don't post sensitive photos because I can find out where you live. And to the one person that said, bro thinks she's Google Maps, she does. And I can find you if I wanted to.
I don't doubt it. Okay, we'll get into how to find people from a picture another time, because that's one of the other things I want to ask you is, so you work in tech, you see the state of most people's stuff, and so you probably have an inside both to like what's coming next that companies want to do, and also what people who are using this stuff need most. Are you ever like conflicted? You said you do what you do what you love. So like, what kinds of things are most exciting to you coming from the tech world that people will be able to use soon or could use now to make their lives better? Like, anything particular that we're, especially stuff that like we're not talking about?
I think, I mean, something recently in the tech world that maybe a lot of people wouldn't expect me to say, would be travel. So actually being able, like, there's a lot of AI tools, especially with Google, that's coming out with like Google Flights beta. I don't know if anybody has interacted with that, but you can literally, it's prompt engineering Google Flights. You can literally say, I want to go on a round trip flight for under $400 to somewhere warm in the month of August. And it will literally provide you destinations and flights from, within your budget and come up with different destinations. So I think, within the AI space and agentic AI, there's a lot of cool things coming out with security and autonomy, like a lot of really cool things. But there's also some really niche things that is coming out with AI, like travel and actually getting good friggin' deals and not getting scammed, and helping you out building like an itinerary and lots of stuff. But I think that's actually one of my favorite features is more AI tools from Google coming out for travel.
Okay, cool. Shout out to Google. I do like what they're doing. I'm concerned and curious about some other things. Will is going to be joining us soon, and before he does, what I'd like to do is there was a really good question in the comment about seed phrase management. Somebody asked about what to do if you lose your seed phrase. And I don't know if you want to tell him or if you want me to tell him, but I'm very sorry to say that's a bad situation, my friend. If you lose your seed phrase, there is nobody who can help you recover it. And the odds of guessing it, they're slim. So it's not that your crypto is lost or gone, but it may be inaccessible to you. So tell us more. Let us know if you think you got a lead on it. That would be good. But that's why this is a big responsibility. Being your own custodian is awesome. To think that you have freedom over your money the way you have freedom over thoughts in your head, but
you're shit out of luck, bro. Shit out of luck. If you lose your seed phrase, you're donezo. You're done. I mean, look, I don't know if you try, but shit out of luck. That's it. Hold your seed phrase. And also, I have a little tip.
Okay.
If you want, which is I've done this. You can create like you can write your seed phrase potentially if you want to, like down on a sticky note or something like that. And on Amazon, there are these little like lock boxes if you want to, like get like physical lock boxes where you have to remember like the actual lockbox key. Get like 10 of those and put them in like maybe not 10, maybe like 5 or something. And put them in like extremely secure places, like dig a hole in your backyard, put it in the back corner of your closet, put it here, put it there. Because if you lose it, at least they're in different physical locations that you also know are secure. So pick 5 different physical secure locations and then make sure you have that box. Of course, someone could get a hammer and try and open it, but slim chances. That's actually a way to protect yourself from just having your seed phrase only in one place.
There's also a really good follow-up question about why you can't make your own seed phrase. And did you know, my friends, actually you can, but you really shouldn't, because it's not about like, can you do it? It's about randomness. Seed phrases are secure in part because they're totally randomly generated. The crypto in cryptocurrency stands for cryptography. The words come from a fixed list, and each additional word creates a little bit of entropy that makes it difficult for other people to derive the public keys you have from your private keys. And there's also other cryptographic stuff like a checksum baked in that we can talk about another time. If you make your own, you'll probably pick words that are familiar to you. You might use a pattern unknowingly, have a bias towards a meaningful phrase. And hackers are also human first. So they're going to use tools to scan you, to scan other attack vectors, your known wallets, your activity on a blockchain. Any piece of information about you could become a weapon if you are not aware of like the risk you're taking. I would say it's best to use a legitimate wallet to securely generate a private key locally. I don't know if you feel differently about that, but I welcome your feedback.
No, I think it's great. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at the comment section, but I agree.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say that too. So amazing, and I'm glad we agree.
I didn't mean to give you the air horn. I just meant to give us both a point for agreeing on it. I'm trying to give us as many points as possible before Will gets here, and Alex if he decides to, because they always accuse me of rigging the game, but they really can't say I rigged it if they weren't even here to play and get points with us. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
That's how I feel.
I like the game. I think it's fun. Again, to everybody, this is my first TikTok live. So I literally like all the like.
just trying to make it memorable for you. I would encourage everybody who's listening live. Let Smobyday know what you think about the live format. Are you thinking about exploring it more yourself? Like, do you have, aside from the videos you create, like a long form kind of thing you're doing? What have you thought about doing live for the future of your content, or like a show or something like that?
I mean, I really haven't. I've thought about, I've watched your lives actually a couple times. And I've liked them. I haven't, I like tune in and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm hungry. I gotta go eat something. But I mean, I think lives would be cool to do. I tried doing longer form on YouTube. but yeah, like longer form on YouTube, but they're so long to edit and my mouth gets so dry afterwards. And I have to it's just like, I think actually lives would be better. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if I should do more lives and talk shop for the girlies and also the guys. What did C. Vish say? Glad to have you here. I hope we don't scare you too much. Come back again. Men don't scare me. You could never. But no, we're fine here. We're good. I'm having fun. There's music. I'm getting, what was it called? Sound effects? I like the sound effects.
Yeah, we love it. And TikTok actually has its own kind of native sound effects too that you can add in and whatever. But it's fun, I find, to be able to, just meet people right where they are with their questions. The character limits are frustrating if somebody's just typing to you in the comments. And it can be really risky to like let up somebody in a guest spot because you never know what they're going to do or what they're going to say. We've had people, we used to take random guest requests like a radio calling show, but then people would shout literal slurs and we'd be like, wow, got to shut that down. Can't do that. But most people are very like sincere, sweet, and they appreciate, I feel like it creates a realer, stickier relationship because, you see certain people appear again and again in your comments, but over, I don't know, a short conversation on live, you get to know somebody a little better than you do in like one comment every other video or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I don't, but I'm like learning it now. This is great. I'm DMing Jerry in space. Hey, Jerry.
I saw Jerry in space say that they had a story. It said, I wanted her to come on our show and I got ignored. Jerry, do I know you? Is this my Jerry? Oh, it's my friend Jerry. We have two friends, Brandon and Jerry, who run a great show too. Exit Liquidity is their show, and they're excellent, gracious hosts. They talk about crypto, they talk about finance, but somehow get themselves caught off in food land. I really enjoy it. They're both purveyors of hot food takes.
Wait, did you request DM me? I'm so like, I have a job, so I don't tend to look at like
what I love the subtle shade. I have a job, so I can't keep up.
No, I like on top of my job and also like recording videos and doing all that, I a lot of like comments and DMs, I try and dedicate like just one day to go everything. But wait, Jerry, let's go. What's actually did you DM me from Jerry in space? Like, is it from that? Yeah, I'm such podcast goes. Sorry, Jerry, that came out so
yeah, right. Shade. We'll connect you. We will connect you with the guys after the show for sure, because it's always it's great to connect our friends. And speaking of our friends, I am very pleased to welcome to Rise Up After Dark your friend and mine, Mr. Will Watson. Will, brother, thanks for joining us. How were your taxes?
Dude, fuck off. That's how my taxes were.
Oh, no.
It costs $675 just to file the taxes, let alone what I then have to pay the government.
Oh,
so
really?
That's wonderful. Yeah.
But it's an investment, man. You got the peace of mind now of knowing it's done. Don't have to deal with it till next year, right?
Yeah, and I have the peace of mind of also from my job that I also have, which also makes it hard to keep a track with comments and DMs and everything, because I totally understand, like, the bandwidth is just spread thin. Thanks to that job, I get a whole brand new extra tax that I didn't have before, so it's wonderful.
Will,
but hey,
Smobyday, do you guys know each other? Have you met before now?
No.
Now we have met, and honestly, I wasn't familiar with your game until I saw you were here chatting with Evan, and then went to your profile and started looking, and finance, AI, crypto, it's all seemed pretty cool. Dropped a follow, and now you'll get a whole bunch of bots of mine, and then hopefully I'll get a lot of bots of yours, I imagine.
Okay, well, let me put you on to me. Feel free to scroll, comment, like, share. Yeah.
Hit that bell icon. Yeah, all the stuff.
Smash the follow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hate that so much.
Well, what's your account? Like, I haven't.
It is coin_guide spelled correctly, and there's millions of bots. I'm sure you're very familiar with that.
Oh, 100%. Oh, here you are. Coin.
That's about
macroeconomics and crypto.
Yep, should be about 81.7 or 81.6K followers right there. That should be the right number.
What's what's macroeconomics? Like, just actually, no, you explain it.
Yeah, so I'll explain it by telling the story about how I got super interested in it. Was the Japanese carry trade last year, like, screwed me over in a trade, and I was like, oh damn, like what is this? What is this whole carry trade situation? Oh, it was like people going to Japan to borrow money for cheap because like the interest rates were so low, and that impacted like the stock market, which impacted crypto. Oh, okay. So let me learn a little bit more about like economic policy, the how liquidity actually rises based on, you know, Fed policy, rate decisions, balance sheet decisions, and just kind of like how overall economic policy shapes this macro environment that influences stocks and crypto and oil and all that good fun stuff. So that's the macro.
Are you sure? Because I'm looking at a video on your account where you're putting chocolate milk in coffee.
Oh yeah, also that
Could be the move.
Also that, and honestly, it is the great move. And it was offered at Dunkin' Donuts as the Dunkachino, but they took it off the menu.
Ah, wait,
Those bastards.
that sounds good.
No.
Wait, that's really cool though. Good for you. I feel like I mean, all your videos are getting a lot of views, so there's obviously a demographic who wants to learn more about it. It's super interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The macro side is my favorite to talk about, but I first got into making videos in 2020, and it was just starting to like explain the words like what is a blockchain and what's an NFT, and at the time, what's a metaverse and all that stuff, and just trying to make it approachable for people. And then I kind of fell into this track and met Evan and Alex and started doing the show. But what would you say is like the, you know, your kind of favorite? Do you have a favorite thing or topic you like to talk about?
I mean, probably, I don't know, AI finance and crypto. That's like literally all I like to talk about online. Probably more the education around it rather than like, you have to buy this or you have to buy that.
Yeah.
I like educating people around different financial concepts and crypto concepts. So breaking down what the blockchain is, Web3, what an NFT is. I'm coming out the whole series on how to buy crypto on different crypto exchanges, like step by step, click by click, with photos, like the whole thing, to try and make it as accessible as possible. But those just educational videos around, I think I've said it before, but like complex topics. Yeah, that's about it. You know what? I have a question. What are these little stars up here? What is that?
The TikTok
TikTok.
live stars. You're getting some gifts. People are giving you some love. So at the end of the live, you'll see you'll have been given some money.
Money?
Yeah. Every star
bills,
is like a cent,
like a penny,
I think. And the way it works is you can exchange dollars for coins. And it's basically like a 2-to-1 ratio. So if I spend $1, I'll get like 50 cents worth of gifts. If I send you a gift that's worth $1, you'll get like 50 cents of it, and TikTok gets like 50 cents back.
Wait, y'all don't waste your money on me. Save it, invest it. Go on Fidelity.com. Put it in your Roth IRA.
Dude, Will, you missed the not sponsored, but it should be. We're trying to get Smobyday sponsored by Fidelity. That's the goal. And then they're coming for us.
If you, I was like, if you get sponsored by Fidelity, let us know too, because they got deep pockets. They have deeper pockets, and they know how to spend it more than these crypto companies do. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, a lot of the brands that I've worked with so far, like, are all finance and crypto brands, obviously. But yeah, they definitely have a large, what's it called, bucket and budget for promoting their business and whatnot, which is cool.
Wait, I love this comment. Don't waste your money on her. She has this thing called a job.
Literally, Jerry, like, speaking to the microphone.
Dude,
Damn.
Jerry's fucking hilarious. I love Jerry.
I totally called myself out on this one. Yep. Jerry, you're right. Okay, Jerry, I'll be on your show. He's like, I don't want you.
So what's the conversation been? I was only able to tune in a little bit.
Mostly,
and
we've covered a lot of ground, from like tips for starting investors. What's the 1, 2, 3? We've talked about people who want to go deeper. Smobyday works in tech, and so I was asking for some of her tips on security because she's not doxxed online, and saying, "Am I cooked because I am doxxed?"
Probably.
Yeah, I know, right? We've covered a lot of ground. We really haven't touched a lot of the moment by moment stuff. I am aware through comments that apparently the market is reacting pretty strongly at this particular moment to, was there a broken ceasefire today?
Wait, you're telling me that the ceasefire that was put in place that was never officially agreed to by Iran is falling apart because Israel kept blowing up Lebanon? No way, crazy. Who would have thought?
I never ever would have considered it, but alas, here we are.
I mean, I remember going on Twitter and I was just getting news updates of like what was happening in the Middle East still, and I was like, oh, this whole ceasefire thing never started. Go on Twitter and I'm just seeing like Trump's the greatest ever, and I was like, oh, guys, it's all blowing up still. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, hang on, everybody,
Shocker.
buckle up a little bit. But I was like,
Yeah.
you might want to de-risk a little bit here, folks.
So we've really just been it's our typical first time on the show conversation where we invite everybody to get to know Smobyday, and then we just spend time answering the folks' questions. We've had a couple of questions about storage for your seed phrases. She dropped some knowledge about HashiCorp on a big screen. Yeah. So
I didn't see before. I don't know if it was just a me thing or Smobyday. Oh, I love the branding as well that you have.
You didn't see me? Oh, it's probably because I had another tab that I was on.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see you. It was all black. I just thought, I was like, okay, we're just here on the TikTok Live.
Damn. Okay, no.
Check it out. Right.
This is my...
Oh, yeah. No, that looks really professional. Evan, write that down.
Yeah, it honestly,
like
it's like a movie poster is what it gives me. It gives me like, summer
it does give me movie
flick.
poster vibe. Yeah, exactly.
Definitely got to see it vibes.
Can you guys flip that? Can you clip that real quick? And I'm just going to take that.
Flip it.
Flip it.
Clip it.
Yeah, we can clip it actually. Thanks to Pix and Tig, we have a couple of crackerjack clippers, and Tori that you met, and our intern Matt all work together pretty seamlessly to capture one of our cool AI workflows that we're trying to figure out right now, but we've got a couple of kinks in. So we use StreamYard to capture a great recording. It captures local files for everybody, and then we're working on a one-shot prompt that when we download the files to a Google Drive folder, we can mirror that folder to our drive, and we have a co-work workflow that allows us to get the transcript, prompt a bunch of stuff from it, like a show recap with clickable links to segments, a spreadsheet that updates with suggestions for clips taken from the transcript that the clippers can then like go and easily look up and see like, yeah, that's a good one. No, it's not. And it's actually like, it's pretty good.
Cool.
It gives us a podcast description, a YouTube description. It's got some kinks, but it's amazing.
Staff, Tori's doing that.
Yeah, Tori really is the architect behind it, and I want to give Tori every flower that she's due. When we were bringing her on, I like to invite everybody to make up their own title, and Tori was like, I don't know what I want my title to be, and I said, well, in my mind, I've started to think of you as the chief of staff and director of sanity. Tori is really good at either starting things or helping other people finish them. She's easy to plug in place. I don't know. I can't say enough good things about Tori.
Oh my God, Queen. Yes. Also,
yeah.
It says Tori Story / solar punk art. That sounds sick. I don't know what that means. I don't know why that means, but I want to know more, Tori. Please.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tori's great.
So, Smobyday, I'm curious. In your own investing journey, what would you say was like the most important lesson that you learned that like really is like, oh, I should really need to make sure that when people come to me with questions and they're looking for advice, like this is a lesson that I learned myself that I really want to instill in this person. It could be one or two. I'm curious.
Oh my God. Try like 10.
Yeah, I know. We all have like 13 or 15 or 75, Yeah,
literally. You know what I would say? The biggest thing is once I started investing, I became like super obsessed with like extreme, like down deep rabbit holes of like stocks in the black market, like foreign stocks, like all this stuff. So I was investing in extremely niche stuff. And then I found myself like quite a few grand into these like super niche areas before investing in like VOO, right? Like before investing in like FXAIX, right? Before actually contributing to my Roth IRA. So I would say that like when you start investing, the biggest thing that I had to learn was like, it's super exciting. There's a lot of cool niche things out there. Get your basics covered, like basics covered, VOO, auto recurring investments, contribute to your Roth IRA, max it out, invest in something basic, contribute to your 401k, contribute to your HSA, like get all of that. And then start, with the money you have left over, invest in like your niche fun stuff. Cause I mean, I've made money on some of that stuff, but yeah, like I consistency is also hot and great and can actually make you money too. So that's probably the biggest piece of advice I would say.
I like that. Consistency is hot.
And I was saying this before too, like I was telling Evan, It's my big thing. Confidence comes from participation, not perfection. So you just got to start and do it, and then you learn from there. What would you say? Is it Will or William? William the Fifth?
It's Will.
Will.
It's Will.
What would you say yours is?
I would say the number one thing to tell people is, like, from a mistake that I made as well. I would say the first thing is to make money, you have to find something to buy, right? That's the first step. But in order to actually make that money, you have to hit the sell button sometimes. Every now and again, you have to hit that sell button. That whole take profit thing is the only way where you actually get the profit. Because the biggest mistake I made when I first started investing in crypto specifically was like, it was 2017. You know, I was buying everything under the sun and had another mistake where I had like a portfolio of like 30 or 25 cryptos, which is just impossible to manage individually. And then I wrote everything up, and at the time I didn't have too much money, so it was like a few $1,000s, and I wrote it all the way up to like just shy of $100,000, and I was like, this is just gonna keep going up forever. And then it went down for what felt like forever, and that was like the first mistake. And then I would say since that point, it's just gotten better and better and better, but still just being way more comfortable taking aggressive profits whenever I have them, and then putting them in a place to just earn like some nice, simple yield. Make some money, have it compound over time. It's going to do magic. So like that would be the lesson that I ask people, is to like create a plan on how to take profit, and then don't change that plan. That'd be the first thing.
Valid. How would you create the plan?
Well, everyone goes, so at what price do I sell then? I'll pick a price, and they go, no, don't pick a price. I'll always ask someone a question of, are you someone who has a lot of time to be watching an asset or a market really consistently, like check on it multiple times a day or multiple times a week at least? Or are you someone who wants to buy something and kind of go about your day and your life and your week and your schedule and check on it every now and again with a little bit of due diligence? What is that? For the most part, people say the latter. I'd rather do the latter. And I go, okay, then this is what you should do. You should sell. If you're ever up 10%, sell a little bit. You're ever up, especially in crypto, you can be up 10% in a day like that, like at any given point in time. Just sell 5% of your entire portfolio. You're up 10%, general rule of thumb, sell 5%, and then put it in stable coins and have it earn yield. Oh, you're up 15, 20% on a day? Hey, double that, sell 10%. Go ahead and put that in yield.
But that also means you're talking to people who look at their investments every single day, right? So you'd have to be monitoring your investments.
Yeah, those ones are getting the alerts. But otherwise, what I'll say like, hey, if you were patient and you bought at a low, every single month, you should just automatically be taking profits, right? Every 2 weeks, you should be taking some profits if like you're generally in the green, and then look to do that. Now, I'll typically ask people also, and I'll say like, hey, like, what's your goal? Like, are you trying to make some short-term revenue to like buy a car, or get an engagement ring, or just get a nice suit or something like that, or go on vacation? Or are you saving up for retirement? Like, what's your portfolio here? And so obviously, if your goal is short-term, you should be looking once a week, once every couple of days, once a day, maybe, depending on what your short-term goals are. But if you're saving up for retirement, you should just kind of have like a dollar cost average that's going into an asset you believe in long-term. And, whether that's a crypto or stocks or gold or a commodity, what have you, and just kind of set it and forget it, once you kind of have a strategy that you think is good. But I think that's the biggest step that a lot of people miss in the beginning, is understanding what their real goal is, and then building a strategy that actually matches that goal from like a timeline standpoint.
I actually like that. I recently, to make it about me, I recently made a video. I guess not that recently, but the idea of like, stop setting financial goals, but set like scenario specific financial goals. So I like the idea of actually creating something where you can quantify it. So instead of saying, I want to be rich or I want financial freedom, say by the time I'm 45, I want to live off of my dividends, right? Like something like that. Or by the time I'm 54, I want to have invested $80,000 in stable coins, right? Or something like that. So a level of quantification that you're attaching to your financial goals. I like, Will, that you said too, like building your budget and your plan based off of maybe like a hyper specific goal that you have. I think that actually makes sense. Like matching your investments based off your goal, not just something random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing too, that's always like ground zero of any decision is like, hey, do you have cash to invest? Like, no, I actually really need this money for my rent. And I go, okay, then we're not ready to invest yet. You got to build up that cash pile first. You got to make sure you have your emergency cash over here for a rainy day, and so, step one is you got to find another way to kind of build an extra cash flow for yourself, or, get an extra, accreditation that can get you a raise at your current job, something along those lines, right? You have to have money in order to invest, and that money should be not stuff you need to put food on the table and pay your rent and, put shelter over your head and all that kind of stuff.
Jerry in the comments said, get a suit. What do I have, a job?
What do I have, a job? I saw that too. It got me. What do I have, a job?
Sorry, Jerry. Some of us work.
Some of us are employed and insured and all this stuff. What a loser.
For the chief of staff and the intern here who's clipping, don't clip what I said about the job.
Don't clip what I said about the job.
Yeah. Funny. Also, are you seeing this WhatsApp thing?
Yes, I want to address it.
Oh, what's going on?
So in the comments, there's somebody, Favela, thank you for bringing this up, asked, Smobyday, are you messaging me on WhatsApp? And the answer, I am sure, is no, absolutely not. Here's what's happening. Anybody who reaches out to you personally, directly in a comment, a direct message, especially if what they're doing is inviting you to Telegram, to WhatsApp, to a DM, to a website, even if they appear to be a creator you trust, is trying to leverage the trust someone has built with you to take your money. This is a very common kind of scam in tech and crypto called pig butchering. I would really encourage you to write that term down if it's new and look it up, where scammers, because it's easy to download one of Smobyday's videos and create Smobyday_star as a TikTok account and spend a bunch of money on ads to make it look legitimate. People will do that so that you, because you trust her, will respond to their messages. You'll think, wow, I can't believe she's talking to me. This is great. I've had scammers clone my voice. Increasingly, we expect to see people have their voices and videos cloned. So just know that no legitimate creator will ever directly message you offering to help you invest. Anybody promising passive returns, even if they have an app, a dashboard, even if they send you some money back, it is always, always, always too good to be true and a scam. And once you send them money, 99% of people, even who report the crime, are not able to recover those funds because they sent them in cryptocurrency.
100%. 100%. I have so many bots. Do you want to hear something even more insane?
Absolutely.
I have the tea that I'm about to spill. So there was this, what is it? You know how like you can actually replace, okay. My cousin DM'd me and was like, hey, I remember you showed me this video that you made that went viral. I think somebody recreated it. With AI, they literally, like my background and everything was exactly the same. They changed my hair to blonde. They changed my eyes to blue. I literally looked like an entirely different person, but it looked so real. And it was me talking about finance tips, whatever, but it was the exact same video that just changed my face. And it was still my voice. And I was actually gonna, because I'm very intentional about anonymity and whatnot. I literally remember telling like my friends, like I'm done. Like I'm not posting online anymore. This is way too freaky. I'm not about it. Like whatever. And then I was like, that's it, babe. Like that's AI and where it's at. Just lean into it and just like ignore it. But it was really freaky, honestly. I was like, that's never happened to me before. And it was wild. Like people, it was just like a totally different version of myself. What did girl math? We know you cloned yourself.
Yeah.
Girl, I would never make myself blonde. I would, if anything, I would give myself bangs if I cloned myself.
Okay, perfect bangs. Yeah, very risky to try IRL.
Also, Evan had like somebody was sending out audio messages pretending to be Evan, and it sounded like his voice.
It sounded so good. And I mean, there's hours and hours of our voices, our faces, our expressions online that until I don't know what you think, Smobyday. I feel like verified credentials in the form of something like cryptographic an NFT, a decentralized identifier of some kind to say, this is a bot, this is a human, this is this account, this is that account, this is the one it purports to be, every other one is a fake, is like the only way to fix this. And frankly, I cannot believe that platforms have not been more aggressive about it, and that they still aren't, considering we have agents now. You know what I mean? Like, the spam is about to be crazy, I feel like. Do you see any other solutions on the horizon, or I don't know, promising ways out?
I mean, I'll say this. I know within TikTok, which is unfortunate, but like the blue verified checkmark does actually make a difference. When you do have a lot of bot accounts and then somebody searches for your username, they're going to follow the one that has a blue checkmark because it's literally verification of your account. So I think having a level of verification there, I think with the AI agent thing, like changing your face, changing your body, like changing, your voice, like utilizing it, I think it's less about what we can do about it and more about the education. So it's the same idea when social media came out, Instagram. No one told us about anything. And we all, like, I thought a thigh gap was normal and all this stuff, whatever, because of Tumblr. Like, nobody was educating us around this new technology. So I think rather than trying to stop it, I've always been my idea is, like, as much as anybody should know that 2 + 2 = 4, everybody should know how AI works, like in school. Like, we should tell people how to actually use AI safely, to actually detect if something's fake, right? To do a little bit more digging on a video or a post, or if you get an audio recording. But that's just not being taught, right? So rather than trying to stop the progression of AI, even though we can be victims of it, at the same time, I think there should be more education around it. That's my thought process, but I digress.
Speaking of AI, Smobyday, I'm curious if you were to build like an AI portfolio, or like if someone were and you're like, oh, like that's a good portfolio. I gotta imagine you'd have like the NVIDIA and Intels and the GPU creators. But I'm curious if you'd have like some of the data center like manufacturers, or if you would have something in the blockchain space or something. So like, what are some of the pieces that you think you would put into like an AI investment portfolio? And if you don't want to give like specific things as names, to be like, not to just like put your name on something like I'd invest in this, I think people should, or something. It can be more generic. I'm just curious.
That's actually a really interesting question. AI investment portfolio. Again, disclaimer, not financial advice. This is just if I was to create an AI investment portfolio. Definitely, I would. I mean, you do it the Warren Buffett way, in my personal opinion. When Amazon came out, he didn't invest in Amazon, he invested in cardboard. So don't invest in data centers, invest in electricity, invest in what actually takes, maybe consulting firms, invest in plumbing, right?
Oh, interesting. The consulting firm take is a good one. I hadn't thought about that.
Consulting. I would invest in the behind the scenes actors. And I think security and cybersecurity in general kind of teaches you that, right? There's these front actors and there's just way behind the scenes. So I'd probably invest in, obviously, electricity, invest in energy. Obviously, the space race is super interesting right now. So I think for funsies, I would obviously invest in some really interesting space stocks, technically. And then there's actually, just to throw somebody out there, if he's not on this live, and I don't know him at all, but there is somebody called the Patel Investor. And he has an account that I actually really enjoy. He talks about super, super niche stocks and ETFs to invest in that basically surround niche industries: gas, shipping containers, AI, energy, nuclear energy, sustainability, really interesting stuff. So I got to DM him and let him know that I talked about it. We don't know each other. But I do enjoy his investment suggestions. Not really suggestions. He just covers stocks in their niche. I'd say that. And I also think online shopping is huge too. So as far as like AI goes, we're just ordering more and more stuff. So and shopping platforms, online AI shopping platforms, Rakuten. I'd invest in Rakuten too.
Interesting. I like that. I like I mean, it's taking, the classic saying of don't invest, or don't go finding the gold, go and sell the shovels, right? It's taking that to like the whole next level of every single thing that could possibly satellite around the concept of AI and everything that supports it. I really like that thought process.
Yeah. absolutely. You're welcome. That's for free. You don't have to pay for that. You don't have to pay for that info.
Don't have to pay for it because she's got a job. J-O-B, Jerry.
Got a job.
Thank you very much.
You should just change like the description of your TikTok profile page to "I have a job."
No, because the only people who know that joke are on this live right now.
Yeah. No. It'll catch on.
My 140,000 followers are like, what is she talking about?
Listen, we have so many. That's another great thing about being live and doing content over time. I feel like this is a social capital revolution that people are just kind of catching into. As money, the ways we communicate and make meaning about value are changing. I think one of them is the attention economy. And I really believe the most wealthy people of the future will not be people with a lot of money. They will be people with the influence to command attention with precision. Like if Elon Musk gets online and wants you to know what he's thinking or to influence how you feel, he can do it with a high degree of like precision and power. He can platform anyone he wants to. He can talk to anyone he wants to. He can get amplified pretty much anywhere. And the people who know how to do that, who understand the mediums, the memes, I really think that's like the investment of the future. Like I sometimes say, if you gave me the option, do you want $10 billion or do you want all the 10 billion people of the planet to know you, like you, trust you? I would choose that because, you know, the money will go away, but it's really tough for me to think about the world we're likely to go into, which seems more connected, more online, more content. What will be valuable is that people look forward to you, to paying attention to you, that you can ask them to and they will respond. So I'm a big fan of like inside jokes, community building, audience building, not just to have a one-sided relationship, but like, I don't know. And I think about the ethical implications of that all the time. I feel like we were not meant.
You're really good. I feel like you specifically, actually, Evan, are really good at that. Especially, again, your videos that you create. It's very conversational. It's very one-to-one. And I do think you can tell from your videos that you do, I don't know, you're like talking to everybody like a friend almost. Like you're just like, I love that question. Great. Thanks for asking this. It's you do create that comfort in community, I will say, which I should try and do for sure. Mine's just like, hey bitches, what's up? Let's talk about
I have to ask you, is that who you are? Is that who excuse me, who you are offline? Or do you feel, do you ever feel as you create content, and this is for both of you, that you become a character? I don't feel like I become a character, but there are definitely, you know, I'm not gonna get on and film a TikTok on my absolute worst day. I just try not to. But I feel like over time you reinforce parts of yourself and pieces of yourself, and you might all of a sudden wake up and realize, oh my gosh, you know, I've built myself into a niche.
I think I don't know. I mean, I think I've been told from my friends that I have a teacher voice and it pisses them off. So if they like ask me a question, I'm like, amazing question. So when I tell you that I can't even hear you right now, like they don't even like my voice when I do that, but on TikTok it resonates really well. So, so I would say as far as personality goes, pretty much the same online and not, but I think my tone of voice when I am explaining a concept specifically about like NFTs or blockchain or compound interest, I'd say my tenor and my tone of voice does get a bit more like maybe teachery than I would in.
I think that reads really well for you. I think it reads really well on film, specifically on TikTok, specifically. The camera as a tool, a medium, tends to eat energy from people. And it's also a truth teller. Like we can tell watching someone on camera with more precision than we can sometimes watching them in person if they're putting something on for us. But you do kind of have to like give it a little extra energy. And I think you do a really good job of communicating this like, oh, I can trust you. She's confident, and it doesn't seem like a false confidence. It seems like sincere. So
yeah, it is sincere. I've told this to my friends too, and again with the job thing too. Like I don't like again. I do have a job, so like yes, brand deals.
We know you have a job.
I know.
You just keep digging this hole deeper.
I am so aware, and I'm going to dig myself like a super deep hole.
Get that job, girl.
Get that bag. At the same time, brand deals are really cool. They don't pay me more than my 9 to 5. I really do like the comments that I get under videos, and especially I work in a very male dominated space. So like other girls being like, oh my God, where have you been? This is so amazing, blah, blah, blah. Like that inflates my ego and my confidence more than like, even if I got not really a lot of brand deals, I would still do it because the community of women that I get to talk to in the comments and who DM'd me, it feels, and narcissistically, it feels so good that I feel like I'm at least adding a little bit of help to this digital world, digital space. So yeah, I would still do my TikTok and educate women on these complex topics, even without like, you know, trying to get famous or anything like that. Like I've got my bag, I've got my coin, because I have a
job.
Job.
Period.
Well, what about you, man? Because you're doing like the food account now. Will is on track to become Boston's next hottest food influencer.
I always wanted to do a little bit of like the Boston influence stuff, and I just needed like because Smobyday, I'll typically make on like my crypto macro account usually minimum of 3 videos, but sometimes it gets up to like 9 or 15 videos a day.
Will is the most prolific, regularly consistent creator I personally know. It's
and now it's just like the bear market's here, and there's just like not quite as much to talk about, and so it's like, oh, okay, well, like, hey, I think this might be a good time to also direct some of my efforts towards like the Boston. I've lived in Boston for 10 years. You know, some of the Boston content I wanted to make, so I started doing that a little bit, and it's been fun, and it's cool because like people are giving me a lot of amazing recommendations for places to go eat, and I'm like, fuck yeah, because I also have a job and have money to go eat out, and so that's wonderful. So I'll go do that. But I would say when I'm in front of a green screen, 10% of my personality becomes weatherman for sure. Like 90, it's 90% Will, 10% weatherman Will, and but otherwise no, like everyone, like what you see here on camera and what you see in my videos and like all the costumes I break out, like that's me. I'm just as annoying and obnoxious in person out in the real world as I am on these little screens as well, to the chagrin of some of my friends.
I actually have to tell a Will lore story. You're like, okay, the job thing, it's an inside joke, but we have, I think that's one of the ways that people become like brands, is you need things for people to latch onto. And memes are not just pictures with text on them or AI videos reposted. They are like easy to share packages of information that might take the form of an inside joke. And my favorite Will inside joke is because there was a scammer on TikTok who was targeting accounts with influence in the crypto space. Will got a DM one day from a guy who was like, hey, I will start mass reporting your account. And you know,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
Wait, no.
Sorry.
Hang on a second. Oh, I missed this. I just missed the screenshot.
I can do it again.
Oh wait, there it is. Perfect. Nailed it. Got it.
Everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter is like, the hell is going on? Smobyday just put a towel on her head and then turned herself into a banana and then had like some stars, and you know, it's the filters, baby.
Sorry guys, Smobyday just figured out I could do.
Oh my god, the purple contacts.
X on here. My bad.
No. So this actually it underscores my point. Will, who has more Halloween costumes or just costumes than anybody I know, his account got taken down and he had to create a new one because this scammer like mass reported him, and he was like, how are people going to find me? How am I going to break out of the noise? And his solution was to put on a dolphin costume, a really impressive.
Yeah, there was a dolphin inside joke in the community that was strong, and I was like, there's only one way I break out of, because I was worried about being stuck in 300 view jail for like a brand new account. So I was like, how do I break out of this? So I bought a super shitty blue dolphin costume on Amazon for like $20, and made every single video on it, came on lives with it, and then there's one interview with
15 days as a dolphin, and every
315 days as a dolphin went live with it. And then there's also an interview of us where people are like, oh hey, you guys like had who on and that on the show, and like one of them is like the CTO of Polygon, They're like, oh, we'd like to see that episode of you interviewing the CTO of Polygon. We're like, yeah, except one of us is dressed as a fucking dolphin. It was perfect, though.
But now, as a result, you know,
I loved
everybody, if I was, you know, to play the, we got a sound on our soundboard, a dolphin sound. We've got dolphins will show up, I'm sure, in the chat upon request.
Yeah, there are always dolphin emojis, and then I'll have people ask me like, "Hey, is this like?" I'll go into someone else's live, be another creator, and they're like, "How do I know this is the real Will?" And I'll just type in a lot of E's like a dolphin. They go, "Oh, it is you," and they'll let me up.
Yeah.
You're known as like dolphin guy.
I'm known as the dolphin guy. I mean, I was a dolphin for, I think wasn't 315 days. I think it was 180 days. I was a dolphin or something.
I misspoke. I meant to say he was making 3 to 15 videos a day and doing live. Somehow it, you know, came out.
As dressed in a dolphin costume, just like sweating profusely, and then I'd get to like 9:15, and I'd have to unzip and get into like regular clothes to then get back to my like tech sales job. You know.
Yeah. So not only does Will have a job, but he also has lore as a dolphin. So he's a real winner.
Lore as a dolphin.
I think I just saw a comment that says he might be a drunk dolphin, but he can read a chart better than you. Period.
He might be a drunk dolphin. You know what? I'll take that.
I actually have a video coming out about how to read a candlestick chart, and of course I relate it to like Sephora and makeup and the whole thing because that's my vibe. But I'm to like comment on it. Like I want to hear what you have to say if you can read like a chart.
Oh yeah, I'll go give it a look-see.
Yeah.
I would like that. And I would also like Will and Smobyday, if you want to give your feedback on any of the charts in our audience, we have got some requests for an update on the market. I see Two Think says, well, what about Doge and ADA and AVAX? And my news for you is so much depends on the little red wagon, also known as Bitcoin. And the little red wagon of Bitcoin pretty much depends on what's happening.
You chose red for the color of Bitcoin? Orange is right there.
No, I'm quoting William Carlos Williams. So much depends on the little red wagon full of rainwater, something in the chicken. You know, it was like a very short 1950s famous, but it was an English class thing. So can you give us an update? I'll be glad to do the screen share. And then maybe we can do a little Q&A back and forth. And Smobyday, perhaps you can help with the analysis explaining candlestick charts and that kind of thing. I would love to do that.
Ooh, okay.
If you're up for it.
Yeah.
And let me use this moment to say that we are coming up quickly on that time when we will ride our dogs, ponies, cats, cows, and apparently dolphins too into the sunset. So if you've got something you want our take on, you've got a question for Smobyday, for me, for Will, or there's something you'd like our take on, let us know in the comments.
I'm also going to plug here too that I am going to the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. So you are headed there, Smobyday code for 10% off your ticket. That's like the only, I've never had a code before. So that's my code.
Where did they put the code in? Like at the Bitcoin 2020, the 2026.b. the website?
You can, but you can just go to the link in my bio on my profile and it'll say like Bitcoin conference and just go there. It automatically applies for like your ticket. But if you are going, I would love to meet you. So yeah, I'll be at that freaking conference. Hopefully I'm thinking of having like a shirt that says like Smobyday and then on the back says not a crypto bro, but I don't know if that's the place to do it. So
hashtag not a crypto bro. I really like that. It's at the end of April in Las Vegas. Is that right?
Yeah, it's actually on my birthday, but yeah, it's at the end of April. And I'll be there. I'm excited to learn more about Bitcoin and I'll also just like meet other people in the space too. Yeah, it should be really fun. I think it's gonna be really, really cool. Like I'm in contact with the conference and they have some really cool things planned and it'll be really fun.
Okay, cool. We're gonna be at Consensus in Miami and New York for ETH. The ETH event in June, but Las Vegas is the land of my people, and we have a lot of regular watchers and listeners who will be there too. So I would encourage you to wear the shirt, and let's do this market thing. And then I want to share some resources back and forth because I feel like if there are some people that if you don't know, you should know because you could build some synergy with. But Will, I've delayed it too long. Take me to the land of your screen share, and I will assist you for the people in
Land
TikTok.
of your
If
people, the land of your screen share.
you're in podcast land, you know what to do. Head over to YouTube, look for Rise Up After Dark. This will be the latest episode in the playlist, episode 75 Rise Up After Dark episodes deep. I can't believe it. We're approaching episode 500 of the morning show. It's absolutely insane. Will, what am I looking at here?
Well, first of all, I have not removed the new moon phase from our chart from this morning. So everyone, if you weren't aware, there is a new moon on April 17th. And Smobyday, I am not a moon trader, but the joke is that everyone in the community is trying to get me to become one. It is funny, though. I was chatting with Yoboyski earlier, and he gave me a phone call, and he's going to build us a moon phase trading document for the community. And I was like, that's fantastic. And I also hate that with a burning passion. But anyway, so like Bitcoin right now is actually holding pretty steady here if we zoom in. It's holding but breaking the 55-day exponential moving average. And I wouldn't be shocked at all to see Bitcoin cool down to 69.3K, particularly because the ceasefire is starting to look a little shaky. The stock market is also down only 0.3% right now, but it hasn't really had a really strong opportunity to react yet to the weakening of the ceasefire. If we take a look at like a meme coin too, and I'll pull up Ethereum and Solana as well. But
can we zoom out for a second?
Yeah, sure thing.
Like, zoom out, not like physically. I mean, like from this conversation, I know even for my audience, if anybody is tuned in, green and red. What does green mean? What does red mean? If you want to go.
Oh yeah, sure thing. So first of all, we're looking at the daily time frame here. So what that means is each one of these candles represents a single day's worth of price action. If the candle's green, it ended up being positive. So the price of the asset, in this case, Bitcoin, moved higher from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. If it's red, you got it, it's sold off. Okay. Now, if you're brand new to looking at charts, these lines that I have here, this blue, this yellow, this teal line, that's kind of, looks like a ribbon, if you will. And I'll even just simplify things a little bit more, just clean a few things up.
So just so you know, I would also include this here as like green versus red. Maybe like imagine you walk into Sephora with $50 and then you're like, oh my God, I love it here. They have so many good products. And you end up walking out with like $120 worth of stuff. Like you're feeling good. Like Sephora's killing it, right? Like high energy, high buy. Red is you walk in with like $50 and you walk out, I don't know, maybe with like a really crappy lipstick or lip liner or something like that. And you're like, oh, this sucks. Like this is way worse than I thought it was going to be. That's how I would also classify that. Continue with.
That also works. Green, good vibes, red, bad vibes.
Pretty much.
Unless you set a short, in which case the roles are reversed, but that's neither here nor there. That's like level 3 stuff. We can worry about that later. And so these lines you see on the chart here, the name of them are exponential moving averages, but don't be worried about that. These are areas of resistance and support, areas that if price is coming down, can catch the asset, or if price is coming up, can stop the asset, right? So these help us to understand some areas where maybe we want to sell, maybe we want to buy, okay? And this is like Bitcoin's reacting a little bit to the ceasefire news, kind of not doing wonderfully. The stock market here, and this is the S&P 500. The S&P 500, again, on the daily time frame, so each candle represents a single day's worth of price action. It obviously has not had an opportunity to react because the stock market closes at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time every single day. But this is getting into a little bit of a higher level here, but there's this massive gap on the chart. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because if there's a giant hole on your chart, future price action tends to fill it. And what that means is, future price action will come down and kind of fill this gap and then, go up or down, whatever.
What's a future price action?
Yes, exactly. So the futures price action is, well, actually, let me explain it like this. So let me first explain the gap here. So a gap will exist because the stock market only operates from 9:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon. But there's a pre and post market where things can trade off hours. And so if something really good happens, in this case, it seemed like maybe where there was going to be a ceasefire in Iran, and it seemed like oil prices were coming down, and they were, and things could be fine again. So everyone got really, really excited. And in the pre-market, they started buying a lot, to the point where stocks opened up way higher, technically almost 3% higher from where they started on Monday. And so this resulted in this really, really big gap on this chart. And so a general rule of thumb is, future price action wants to come down and fill this gap. And now the natural question there is why? Now, here's one thing I'm going to tell you. Technical analysis is what I say astrology for boys. And, anyone who wants to aspire to do technical analysis is akin to astrology in the sense that it's not really a science. Okay. It's not really real. It's just trying to give us a sense as to what the probabilities are for one direction or the other, right? Nothing is a guarantee.
Like at the same time here, just looking at this candlestick chart, the numbers on the bottom here, right? Is that the time of the day?
Yeah, well, the numbers at the bottom are the date.
Gotcha, the date. And then what's the numbers on the side?
The numbers on the side are the price. So in this case, yes, okay. 500 and what it's measured against.
So the date is this. So we're looking at a candlestick chart for like a month or something here, or like a week.
This is going back technically all the way to October 25th. But if I scroll out, you can start to see, the stock market over a very long period of time. And you can change this as well. So, you can come up here and you have all these different time frames to choose from. And if you're a really short-term trader, like you're looking to get in and get out in an hour or 20 minutes or something like that, you're going to be looking at these short-term time frames. But if you're a beginner, you shouldn't be touching anything shorter than the daily, the weekly, or the monthly. So if we do that, we go to the monthly. Now we can see way more history here, because each one of these candles now represents a single month's worth of price action, right? So we're condensing a lot of this chart here. And now if I zoom out as far as I can, I can go back all the way to the beginning of the stock market in, technically 1872.
Mm-hmm. As far as like these green and red bars go, candlesticks, why are they different lengths? Like what's the significance of like the actual lengths inside of here?
Yeah, so that represents the distance or amount of price action that moved. So this candle right here, it's very, very tiny. So stocks only moved, from 4,225 to 4,075. But this candle over here was much bigger. And instead of moving, let's see, this one moved, what did I say, 4,200 to 40, moved about 200 points on the stock market. This candle over here moved from 4,100 to 3,500. So that one moved 600 points. So it just meant that there was more or less price action in that time frame. And since we're looking at the monthly chart, it moved more or less in a month. And that's the answer there. Now, if you just look at a single candle, so I'll just zoom in on a candle here. Let me see, what's a good example? Where's one that has a lot of, this one right here is a good example. Mm-hmm. Going back to March 2020. For those of you who are just brand new to candles. So we have a long wick at the bottom, a decent sized wick at top, and then you have this body in the middle, and they tell you different things. And so what a wick high up tells you is at some point in the month, price got all the way up here, but then got beat back down. In fact, it got beat back. Oh my God, I can't even say that. It got beat back. It got beat back down to where price started that month. And then it got slammed all the way down to the bottom of this candle. And then bulls started buying up again. And then when this month ended and this candle officially printed, price was at the bottom of the body of this candle on this blue line here. So that's how you read it.
If you, let's say you have this like blush at Sephora and you walk in and it's $50 at the top of the morning. And that candlestick is basically showing actually by, 4 p.m., 12 p.m., whatever, that price actually dropped to like, what did I say, $50, drops down to like $20 or something. Mm-hmm. Or like, okay, wait, that's way too low. Let's actually join this back up again. Then it goes back up to like $45 or something like that. And then
Yeah.
eventually it also, at some time during the month, it was $50, but then somebody was like, wait, maybe made a video that went viral on like this blush, and the price went way up to like $60 or $70 or something like that. Then somebody came out with a video that was like, actually, it wasn't that great. That blush gave me acne, and it came back down.
Yeah, no, that works too.
That's why. That's literally.
I like it.
If anybody liked that explanation, you'd love my page.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I think of this stuff. And again, it's metaphorical, so there's some, just explaining things like that, just so you know, Will, is also how I internalize different knowledge and information by creating like real life metaphors.
We love a good metaphor, a good example. And since we're in the business of asking questions for people who are thinking them in the audience, Will, I gotta know, what's a bull and what's a bear? Like I have to tell you, I struggled with that for a long time. I could never keep them straight. Which one is which? How do they define it for me? Who are bullish and who are bearish?
Bull, price go up. Bear,
Got it.
price go down.
Got it. Like a charging bull or a hibernating bear. One is like ready to go, pushing things higher, and one is like, let's have a nap and just kind of sinks through the floor.
Yeah, and I forget why those terms came to be, but
forget.
I always just kind of think of it like the bull will hit things up with his horns, whereas a bear will smack down with his paw. That's how I always thought about it. But I'm not quite sure if that's why those terms became what they became.
Smobyday, do you know?
What, like the difference between bull and bear? Actually,
No. I know you know the difference, but I was actually curious if you knew the origin, because I don't know the origin. Off the top of my
the
head.
origin? No, I have no idea what the origin is. But I actually will really like that. Like the bull has the like going up, and then the bear down. That actually makes a lot of sense. Again, I have a video on bullish market versus bearish market, and the video compares it to Black Friday. So as you can tell, but it like bullish would be the days leading up to Black Friday. Like everyone's excited. It's crazy. It's awesome. Like, yes. And then Black Friday is when just every price drops. It's on sale. Black Friday is just like crazy. That's more of a bearish market, but.
Yep. I gotcha. Yeah. But I saw Jerry's question. As of today, is Will a bull or a bear? I'm still a bear. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still a bear. I think we still have several months to go before we find a bottom anywhere in, these markets. But hey, if you're buying stuff with long-term conviction, I mean, shit, like everything's at a discount. So, hey. Yeah.
I think you're probably going to get to this in a second, but I just want to address the question that says, what is a moving average? And I see other questions asking a simple moving average and what is the time frame and the EMA? If you have questions that we don't get to, I just want you to know that our comments are open for you, and probably the best place for your TA questions, there are two good ones, would be the Rise Up community. If you want to get Will's take, we've got a whole technical analysis channel there in the premium section you can try, but you can ask a question in any channel. It'll find him. And I will share a resource that Will has produced at the end. He's got a great Web3 101 sort of like technical analysis, totally for beginners. Or if you just want to brush up and go a little deeper, recorded class that you can get for a couple of bucks. I do not practice a lot of technical analysis. I found it very helpful. So please continue on, but just know that if Will doesn't answer your question, we're not going to leave you high and dry.
Well, I can explain like what's an exponential moving average, what's a simple moving average. I can explain that. So,
yeah, because there's a lot of stuff to read on this chart.
Yeah. And this is me trying to, showing it simplified a little bit here. So we're going to focus on these ribbons here. And these are those areas that I said represent areas of resistance and support, right, for price. And so these are called exponential moving averages. Specifically, it's the 12 is the teal line, the 21 is the yellow, 55 is the blue, and the orange is the 200. So what does that mean? They simply represent averages. So these represent the average price, since we're on the daily chart, of the S&P 500 right now over 12 days. The yellow line, 21 days. The blue line, 55 days. The orange line, 200 days. Now, there are differences between exponential moving averages and simple moving averages. Simple moving averages are exactly the average. That is it, perfect average. The exponential moving average is the average, but weighted a little bit more towards recent price action. Okay, so slight differences. And if you want to ask me, well, why should I use exponential over simple moving averages? Honestly, I started using exponential moving averages because I followed other traders that all used the exponential instead of the simple moving average. And that's just how I built my process for finding areas to buy and sell, and I just kind of stuck with it, honestly. With technical analysis, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, right? There's 1,000 ways to build a strategy that works for you, and there's about 15,000 different indicators that you could possibly get into. But that's it. Just know that exponential moving averages, simple moving averages, represent averages in price. And because of that, you can find areas of resistance and support. Why? I don't know. Self-fulfilling prophecy, which is a lot of technical analysis.
Like your cyber mask.
As the cyber mask. Oh my God, that's so good.
I wish I could show this to everybody.
That's so good.
You're just using the most unhinged filters I've ever seen.
Yeah, but
oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm bearish on the market still. I think oil goes up. I think stocks correct. They fill that gap. I think we have several months to go before we find a bottom. And,
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
If you enjoyed that mini lesson, I would direct you to rumshq.com. Will, as I said, has got a great technical analysis, total 101 crash course overview. If you can't find it there, let us know. It's easy to purchase in a click and watch whenever you want. I know several people have taken it and found it very helpful, myself included. I would love, since we're like at time, we've got some points to give out, some numbers to read. I would like to do a round of final thoughts, but before we do that, Smobyday, I would invite you, if there was a question we missed, something that we didn't ask you that you wanted to share, or that you'd like to leave our audience with, in addition to how they can find you, I'd like to give you the mic and the opportunity to do that now.
Okay, let me take off my banana. My banana. Get serious. I will leave you with this. Confidence comes from participation, not perfection. Money is for everybody. Anybody can build wealth. Anybody can invest in crypto. These concepts are not as complex as finance bros or crypto bros or anybody makes you think that they are. It's because people's knowledge tends to be higher. All of this information that we've talked about today, what Will's talked about, what Evan's talked about, what I've talked about, it's all accessible. It's readily available, and it's just waiting for you to participate, whether it's buying Bitcoin or investing in stocks or contributing to your Roth IRA, right? It's all accessible, and I fully believe that. And if you believe that too, Smobyday, that's my page. I talk about the accessibility of this stuff, how to invest in crypto, how to invest in ETFs, step-by-steps, explain specific concepts in a way that's digestible, that helps. And for all the guys on here, if you don't like my explanations, I guarantee your girlfriend or your wife or your sister will. So feel free to look at my videos and send it to them. But I have had, honestly, a wonderful, this is my very first TikTok live, everybody. So hopefully I did okay.
You did great. We loved it, and we look forward to having you back again sometime. Especially, if there's something you want to teach, you want to cover, you want to share, or you want to speak to somebody. Maybe we can put together another panel of fun, cool creators and continue to break down sometimes complicated, but not too complicated topics for everyday people. I love what you said about it. Okay, then. One more time, you're going to the Bitcoin conference. Your handle is at Smobyday, or on Instagram, it's Smobyday.
IG, yes, Smobyday on TikTok, Smobyday on YouTube, Smobyday IG on Instagram. I'm headed to the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. I think it's April 27th to the 29th. If you want to go, Smobyday for 10% off. Tickets in my bio. And I'm super available over DMs as well. If you get a DM from me, it's not me. But if you DM me and then I respond, hopefully that is me. But I'll never DM you first, for all people who've been contacted by bots. But yeah, that's about it.
Shout out to a couple of folks from the comments, like Radio Dan. Going to give him a point. He says the imagery for bullish and bearish comes from how these animals attack. Just like you said, Will, bulls charge upward with their horns while bears swipe downward with their paws. So I'm going to give Will an extra point for that. 2, I have a request from Jeff Rascal to give a ding to Seavish for leaving us on YouTube. Well, actually, he says more like a gwump. So sorry, Seavish, got to do what the man says, but I am going to give him a ding because he is like, you know how people have those like angels and devils on their shoulders in the movies? Seavish, Cody is like the little gremlin in the back of my, he's like the voice of my intrusive thoughts. So I appreciate you, and I'm giving you another ding. And then I'm going to give Alex a gwump because he missed a killer episode of Rise Up After Dark. And so coming
Crazy
to you
bastard.
for final thoughts in a second, but this is the points as they stand. Looks like in last place with one gwump, it is a tie for complicated taxes, Alex and Duncan for taking away the chocolate milk chino. Sorry about that, guys. Play again next time. Do not pass go. On the board with 0 points, 1 ding and 1 gwump, it's Day Jobs. We've got 1.2 river.com, 1.2 bringing a squatty potty to space. That's a new one. Democratized assets, not being patronizing, and Jerry for getting that resume working so he can get a job. And that means that it's down to us, guys. We've got a lot of points on the board. In third place with 4 points, it's Mr. Will Watson. Congratulations, Will. And
one of you, I'd be like, what was happening?
no, Smobyday and I were
to give the points out.
We were racking up as many points as we possibly. I was giving them out liberally and free because I just wanted to take advantage of the head start we had over you. I knew you were going to bring the heat.
Son of a bitch, I knew it.
I knew it. So in second place with 5 points, that's the best I've done in a long time. It's me, which means your winner is our guest Smobyday. She's got 9 points and is this week's champion. Congratulations.
Celebratory banana.
Yes. Yes. I will only, this banana is for the celebrations.
Funny, we actually have banana inside jokes as well in the show because one of my brothers will walk on always eating a banana and throw a banana at me on screen. He's my banana brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever we're in the same town together. Always, every time. Our first ever sponsor was Banana Gun.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, Banana Gun.
Energy. I mean, yeah, period. I'm only going to bring out the banana on special occasions.
I appreciate that.
That sounds like something you shouldn't say in mixed company. And on that note, I would like to go around for final thoughts before they cancel our fake radio show. Smobyday, as our guest, I'm going to give you a second to collect. If you have one last tip, question, good joke, word of wisdom, or something else for the audience. Will, I'm coming to you first. Have you got a final thought for our people on the way out the door tonight?
Pay your taxes, even though it sucks. Also, if you do have losses, remember, at least in the United States, I don't know anything about outside the U.S., but even if you have losses, declare your taxes, declare your losses, because next year hopefully you've learned some lessons, you made some money, you can take those losses and you can, use those to counteract the gains you made next year. So go and do your taxes. No one wants the IRS knocking on your door in 3, 4, 5 years telling you they're going to audit and you have interest to pay on whatever you owed the government, right? So don't do that because that's how you ruin your day and potentially your life. So don't get in a fight with the IRS. Pay your taxes.
Excellent. Smobyday, have you got a final thought for our audience?
Or fight the IRS, political reformation.
Honestly, yeah.
If we all rise up, they can't stop us all.
Nice rise up. I like that.
Literally. I think my last word of wisdom would be, it does not matter if you invest in the stock market if you do not set up auto recurring investments at all. So set up auto recurring investments and you are guaranteed to make money in the stock market, but it does not matter unless you have auto recurring investments set up. I wholeheartedly believe that. That's what I'll end there.
Excellent. Thank you so much for making time to hang out with us, educate the folks, and just for all your work. I think it's great, and we can't wait to see what you continue to do. Once again, that's Smobyday. I'm Evan. He's Will, and we will be back tomorrow, Thursday, April 9th at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time for the last episode of the Rise Up Morning Show. We've got CEO Matt Fisher from Katana and intern Matt Wiley, our resident Katana DeFi expert, to ask him what may be some tough questions. And of course, we want your questions too. Wherever you are, whenever you listen, we cannot wait to see you, and we thank you for being the very best part of what we do. So until next time, everybody, stay safe, be well, my friends, rise up.